Hey, my name is Andrew, and our group is making a game called Space Frontier. This is just a retro game to give you a retro feel. The platform that we're using is Unity and C Sharp to create this game.
Hi, I'm Tian Chen. I'm the product owner of this game. And when it comes to coding, I worked on the shooting and movement of the game object. Player can move the spaceship by clicking arrow keys, and the spaceship will shoot automatically, and the enemy objects will be generated randomly. The tricky thing is that at the beginning of the development, the spaceship may go beyond the screen. So to fix this problem, I added a boundary to limit the movement of the spaceship. I also added explosion effects into our game. And when the game is over, the spaceship is destroyed, the game over banner will appear. After coding, I unit tested the banner to make sure it can appear properly. And moreover, I added health level and take damage method to the spaceship. And in terms of unit test of this user story, I tested take damage method by comparing expected damage value with the actual damage value, and it works pretty well.
Hi, my name is Jin Hui. I worked on the special effect and tilting effect in the game world. I think that's pretty cool when we play the game. Once you have the special effect and tilting effect. As you can see, once I move the ship, you can see the engine flare and tilting effect with the moving. So that's pretty cool. And I also worked on the background music and shooting sound, as you can hear. Once we play the game, we can hear the music and shooting sound. Not that the bad atmosphere can be more intensive. I also worked on the post button because once user click the post button, the game will be stopped. Because we see the music still to play once we click the button, because we think that would be make the player still in the game. I think that would be better.
Hi, my name's Matt, and in Sprint 1 I was responsible for the graphic design of the game. This included the background and the models for the ship. I also did some testing for the pause button, the special effects and the background music.
Hey, Andrew, and for Sprint 1, I was responsible for a lot of the documentation. So this included like daily meetings and putting things into PDF and whatnot. Throughout the sprint, I've also been trying to upskill to learn C Sharp and Unity. Hello, and welcome to Space Frontier's Trello board. This is our documentation tab of where all our meetings were conducted and done, along with our burn down chart, which was spoken about with Matt. These are our user stories that we did for Sprint 1. These things included moving with the aircraft to avoid asteroids and enemies. We used an invest strategy, and we added them with all the user stories and added them to the descriptions along with acceptance tests. Now, our goal was to deliver a bare bones and basic version of our game with a few functionalities and gameplay. We do understand that with the feedback that we got that this was too vague, and we took that into consideration, and we're further discussing what our Sprint 2 goal should be. In terms of progression for the Sprint 1 backlog, we started with placing what needed to be done in the development card, which is just over here, and that bounced around to testing and back to development and testing and back to development. This was because as soon as we were done with development, we went and tested it, and if the tests weren't satisfactory, we would put it back into development until we were happy enough to put it in the done and Sprint 1 card.
Hey, I'm Matt, and this is our Sprint 1 burn down chart.
The horizontal axis of the chart shows the sprint in work days. This is excluding weekends, and in the middle we had a 2-week break. The vertical axis here shows the amount of work remaining in our chosen unit of story points. So each story was allocated points by the team using the planning poker method, and there was a total of 125 points. Our sprint 1 started on the Wednesday the 4th of April, and as you can see here, we were slow to start at the beginning, but as we had to finish off some planning from sprint 0 in the first couple of days, we wanted to cut into sprint 1 and take those extra couple of days just to make sure we were set to start the development by everyone being on the same page with the project. Once we had sorted out and finished these stories, and we started implementing a spaceship into our game and making it move. So the start was a little shaky, but leading up into the holidays in the middle of the sprint, we wanted to get back on track, so we wouldn't have to do much work in the break as some of our members were going away. After the break, we fell off a little bit around the 11th and 12th day of the sprint, we got back on track and finished up ahead of the baseline on the 15th day, which was the final one.
The first problem we encountered is about unit tests. When it comes to unit tests, we need to compare expected value with the actual value. But in game development, it involves a lot of I/O operations and visual and UI processing, which is very difficult to test. So I didn't find too many testable user stories. So it's our first problem. And the second problem is about the clone game objects, because our game will generate too many clone game objects like bullets and some other game enemy objects. If we don't deal with them, the clone objects will waste too much memory space and slow down our game.
Another problem we face is about GitHub. For example, during the winter break, He and I tried to merge 2 branches, but we failed because of some unexpected conflict. Yeah.
The main problems that I had during the sprint was with GitHub and understanding how to clone and pull the code from Tianqing's repository. Also merging and using Git was hard to understand.
For next sprint, Andrew and I will focus on the score to show the score how you played it. Once the game is over, you will see how you play the game. You just played. Individually, I will work on the mute button to stop the music. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do next sprint.
In sprint 2, I'm going to make the health level of the spaceship visible, so that the player can view their health level on the screen. Moreover, I'm going to establish a connection between our game and a database which can hold the players' scores. And we also need a sorting algorithm to get the highest score. And I'm also going to release our game on Android platform.
In Sprint 2, I'm going to be making some more graphics for the game. This includes making some original backgrounds and ship models. I'm also going to be sorting out the main menu with Andrew, and individually I'm going to make it so the player can replay the game straight after they lost. Additionally, I'm going to be working with LJ on adding different difficulty levels into the game, as the current game right now is quite easy and simple.
So what's next for me is that I will be working with LJ for the presentation of the score for when the ship actually gets hit with an asteroid. I will also be working with Matthew to create a menu which will have a play button for the player to hop in and press play and start playing. And personally, I'll also be creating a high score function that allows users to compare each other's high scores. Yep.